Dogs are loyal to humans and have been for thousands of years, but can they be loyal to other dogs? Here's a heartwarming story about two dogs who endured dangerous hardship through no fault of their own. The loyalty shown by dogs will make you question their ability for empathy. You might question if your dog would do anything in order to save your life. Dennis, a Mongolian man well known for his love of animals in the community, is often sought out when an animal needs help. Because of this, someone called Dennis immediately about the dog on the train tracks. Dennis rushed to the scene after taking the phone call in December of 2016, a very cold month in Mongolia. And the friend on the telephone told Dennis that there had been two dogs stranded on the railroad tracks near the town for 2 days. In December, in the Mongolia, nighttime temperatures can get down to freezing, and Dennis could not imagine the fear that the two dogs were feeling on the tracks. Why were they there? Dennis knew that the dogs would not survive out on the railroad tracks for long and began to walk toward them cautiously in case they were frightened of him. As he approached, he noticed that the female dog was trying to move and get up but couldn't. Dennis moved in to see what might be the matter with her, but it was then that it happened. The other dog, who looked very much like her and might be her litter mate, growled at Dennis, lowering his head and baring his teeth in the cold, snowy daylight. He didn't want Dennis to come any closer. Dennis knew from his experience with animals that it's never a good idea to approach an angry or frightened dog out in the open. The dog was clearly trying to protect a female dog who Dennis suspected might be his sister. Dennis backed off the tracks and sat down on a nearby rock. He gazed at the animals, calmly trying to communicate his desire to help without causing them fear. They gazed steadily back at him, but did not move. Then it happened. Dennis heard the damning sound of a speeding train whistle as tons of steel and metal headed their way on the tracks. Tears leapt to Dennis's eyes as he frantically tried to think of what he could do to save the two animals. He started toward them again, and the brother rushed to his sister's side. Then he did something surprising. He laid down calmly at his sister's side, prepared to die with her beneath the approaching train. Both dogs lay their heads down in resignation. Dennis could not believe one animal would sacrifice himself in this way. He knew many human beings would never do the same.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
The train was approaching rapidly now, and despite Dennis's attempts to get the dogs to leave the tracks, they didn't budge. The train came closer and closer, finally speeding over the two dogs, who lay calmly until it passed. Now, Dennis understood the dogs were keeping each other calm as the train passed overhead. The brother kept the sister calm and found food and brought it to her when she was hungry. Dennis was amazed at the friendship and love the dogs demonstrated. Dennis was determined to keep the dogs safe, and he gained the trust of the guardian male by giving him morsels of food. Once the dog realized that Dennis meant them no harm, he stopped growling and baring his teeth. Dennis waited patiently, feeding the male dog until he could finally manage to pet the injured sister carefully, searching her body for the injury he knew she must have. The male began to allow Dennis to come closer. The sister was so tired and injured, she couldn't move, and Dennis was afraid to move her in case she was badly injured. They say never to move a person if you think they may have broken bones. How could Dennis get two dogs to safety away from the train tracks? He finally remembered he had some blankets in his car and carefully wrapped the sister up as tightly as he could to prevent her injuries from moving. Then Dennis put her in the trunk of his car, snuggling her up carefully. The male remained where he was carefully watching Dennis. Dennis managed to lure him back to the car with treats and got him to jump up and sit next to his sister. Dennis drove them to an animal shelter, hoping they would help. Both dogs had full medical exams and neither had any broken bones. The female was in bad shape and was in shock from living on the railroad tracks. Dennis wasn't able to keep the dogs and was afraid that they would be split up and have to live in separate homes. He put his story on Facebook and waited to see if anyone would offer to take them. Dennis's story was shared at 71,000 times and garnered kind comments from people all over the world. People said, Dennis was very compassionate and the dogs had characteristics many people don't have. They never abandoned each other and protected each other no matter what. After 4 days, the shelter found the dogs' family who had been searching all over. Dennis took Panda and Lucy home and was so grateful to see them in recovery and safe at home. Denny's didn't want to be a hero. He just wanted everyone to know that Panda was the true hero.